friends, and welcome back to this week's Self-Love Masterclass. If you are new here, my name is Renee Love. I am the CEO and founder of Modern Day Wise Woman, which is an online self-love coaching practice and private school. I'm also the owner of Kuhan Apothecary, and here at this channel, wherever you are watching this video, we talk about all things self-love, holistic health, and energy medicine. Essentially, I'm putting that all under the umbrella of holistic self-love. If you are ready for a high vibrational, high energy video, if you want to be empowered, you want to be inspired, you want to be sent out into the world, into your day, feeling like you are aligned, this is the video for you. Get your pen, get your paper, your smartphone, whatever you are going to use to take notes, because this video, this teaching is going to be high impact and I've got a lot to cover. Now, if you are interested in going deeper after this video, all of my information is in the description box below. You can find out how to work with me privately there, and you can also continue to do the work on your own at home by clicking on any of the playlists that I have within these videos and just watch the videos. Play them over and over again. Put them on when you're in the shower, when you're cooking, when you're sleeping. Like, let this stuff sink in, all right? But without further ado, I'm gonna dive right into our class now. Today, I am talking to you all about your energy, your mindset, what you are focusing on, what you are basically bringing into your existence, into your reality. Self-love is truly the foundation upon which we create, we manifest, and we attract everything into our lives. So many of the video topics here are all about love and relationships and self-worth and boundaries and how to navigate life. And why these topics are so relevant is because when our foundation of self-love is off, when it's got cracks, when we are lacking in who we are, when we don't know who we are, when who we are is informed mostly or predominantly or solely by the world and society and our past and our parents and our family, this and that, it leaves us in a position of being really vulnerable. It leaves us being at the effect of life, at the effect of other people, at the effect of our circumstances, at the effect of whatever else is going on. That's when we experience having very little power. That's when we start to experience all kinds of mental health and emotional health and physical health issues. That's when we start to notice that there's something off about our relationships or the people in our life or the people that we attract. That's when we begin to have all kinds of patterns happening over and over again that don't serve us or cause us harm and really disrupt our quality of life. And so it is so important to do self-love work. It is so important to work on these key pillars of self-love, things like your self-concept, your self-trust, your self-efficacy, your self-compassion, your self-awareness. All of these things are a part of self-love. And so today, we're going deep into some of the key things that you want to be paying attention to over the next little while, because these things are really going to support you in being your authentic self, being the true expression of yourself in the world, being with people that you truly feel aligned with, people that see you, people that appreciate you, people that understand you, whether it's romantically, professionally, in your friendships, all of that. This is going to help you to feel better about yourself, to increase your self-worth, to increase your self-esteem. And as all of these things increase, as all of these things happen, life just gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And if you're here and you watch these videos, it's because you are committed to doing the inner work. You are committed to doing what it takes to be responsible for your life and to create the life that truly, truly feels good and is an expression of who you are. Acknowledge yourself right now for being that kind of human being. Because let me tell you something right now. With 7.8 or is it 7.9 billion people on the planet, you and I sitting here together in this video, having this kind of a conversation, this is not ordinary. This is not common. The world at large is one that is designed to make us feel like we don't have any power. We don't have any control. We just have to, take whatever we get and try to make the best of it. And that's why so many of us are in pain. So many of us have not resolved our trauma. So many of us are suffering. And a lot of us are being mistreated, undervalued, not being seen, just not appreciated. And it's time that that ends, all right? So no matter where you are on your self-love journey, no matter whether you are starting off at kindergarten level, so to speak, or you feel like you have a PhD at this point, this video is already impactful and is going to be important. You want to watch it all the way through to the end, and you want to watch it over and over again. Let's talk about the first point. I want to talk to you about resignation. This is one of the things that's going on for a lot of people that is blocking you. It's blocking your energy, your experience of life, happiness from coming to you, from being able to enjoy the moment, from being able to be connected and be with your people and really just feel good. Not for just a moment or for a night, for an evening, but like ongoingly, okay? This is about how to support you and your mood. Resignation is something that settles in for people, okay, when they begin to view the world or they begin to view life or they begin to view their situation or whatever it is in a way where it just seems like things are just never going to change. They're never going to get better. There's nothing that I can do. This is just the way that it is. Oftentimes I'll hear this kind of thinking masked in statements like, it is what it is. Just feel that. Just feel how it feels when you say, it is what it is. Doesn't that feel kind of Eeyore-ish? Like, I love Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore is like a really cute character, but it feels heavy, or it feels like that little kid. I don't know if you ever watched Charlie Brown, that has the little cloud hanging over his head all the time. It's always raining over him. That's how that feels. It is what it is. Like there's nothing that I can do about it. And I'm telling you that fundamentally, the human spirit is biologically designed to want to thrive. Now, don't get me wrong. Biologically, we are also designed to seek pleasure and avoid pain. So a lot of us default into the path of least resistance, or whatever is going to require the least amount of effort for us, for and from us. But the thing you want to notice is that when you take the path of least resistance sometimes, or you do things that are very low effort, or you settle, you don't feel good about yourself. You feel bad about yourself. You start to kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like you look down on yourself. You have a bit of disappointment and frustration in yourself. And that's where this resignation really starts to build. And then you become one of those people where no matter what happens, you don't even see other avenues or other possibilities, or like you don't even focus on those things anymore. You're always focusing on the negative and expecting the worst. That is something that has to be interrupted. If you keep doing that, you'll continue to get more of what you have already gotten. Now, there's a reason why this resignation is there. And so let me bring this into the next point. Part of the reason why we tend to carry around this resignation, or we become so cynical and resigned, is because our heart is closed, our heart is shut off, or our heart is guarded, our heart is protected. And I want to explain something to you very carefully. For those of us that are deep people, deep feelers, I'm not talking about the surface level people that are not aware of like consciousness, or don't have an understanding of consciousness, or like the only thing they care about is like purely and simply material things or vanity, or they're very ego identified. I'm talking about deep feelers, people like you and me and everyone else that is here watching this. Our heart is our power center. When our heart is guarded and closed off, it is so toxic. It is so toxic for us, because who we are authentically, purely, energetically is love. The source of creation and creativity, that which brought the universe into existence, is on the frequency of love and gratitude. So whatever you want to call that higher power, whatever you want to call that energy, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it God and the universe, whether you want to call it source consciousness, whether you want to call it the Big Bang, whether you want to call it the void, whether you want to call it the great mystery, there are countless names for it. The frequency of that is love. And love we experience in our hearts. And so if we want to attract things that are loving, we ourselves need to be connected to our hearts. Our hearts need to be open, and we need to be embodying and putting out love. When we're closed off, as I said just a few sentences ago, it is a toxic state. And so what starts to come into our life is people who match us, people whose hearts are also closed off, people who are not heart-centered or not heart-led, but they are motivated by other things of the ego, like greed or power, or I can think of, what else can I think of? It's not coming to mind immediately, but just think of all those kind of tenets. In fact, if you can think of something that I didn't say, I said greed and I said love as the first, I said greed and I said power. You give me another one in the comments below. What is the third or fourth or fifth one? When you're not in your heart, you're motivated by these ego identified things and you're not motivated by love. So that's where that resignation, as I was talking about in the first point, comes from. And that's why we often attract people into our lives that don't know how to treat us well, don't know how to honor us, because we ourselves do not have a point of attraction that is open for love. Instead, it's a point of attraction for toxicity. It is a lesson waiting to happen. Sometimes people close their hearts off, obviously, because they've experienced a trauma, they've experienced pain. They have now created a narrative that things don't work out for me, things will never happen for me, I'm unlovable, the world is harsh, like any number of narratives, okay? And so that those kinds of statements, those narratives, and those beliefs are the justifications that we use to keep our heart closed. But understand that those narratives are just narratives. Those narratives are not true for everyone, and it's not because the other people that don't subscribe to them or believe in them have not experienced hardship or pain. It is because they have chosen to subscribe to a narrative that empowers them and supports their open heart and supports them in attracting more of what is good for them, rather than subscribing to the one that harms them. Okay, so at all times we have a choice, and it is up to us to choose to do the inner work that is required for us to heal trauma, for us to reinterpret the old interpretations so that the narrative, the dominant narrative that we have, that we are acting with in the world, is one that is loving for ourselves and others, one that helps us to keep our heart open. An open heart is resilient. An open heart energizes you. An open heart is magnetic. An open heart is like you having your soul set on fire. And that is one of your greatest assets. Let's talk about thinking bigger, okay? So in order to think bigger, you really need to have an open heart. And that's why I talked about that point last, before this one. The open heart is what allows us to tap into the infinite realm of possibility. It is what allows us to tap into the infinite realm of creativity. It is where the spark lives. It is where our inner magic lives. And it is what allows us to be in the space that pulls for anything being possible. There is a way that you think right now, and I want you to consider that up until this point, you may have had limitations on what you believe you deserve, what you believe you can have, what you believe you can create, what you believe you can attract into your life, what you believe you will experience now, today, this week, this month, this year, or for the rest of your life. And thinking bigger is what sets the majority of people apart from the ones that are doing this kind of self-love and inner work. A client said to me in a session that we had recently this, and it blew my mind. It brought tears to my eyes. It brought tears to my eyes. I had goosebumps. Like, I'm just recalling the moment now, but she said this, listen. She said, I realize now that the sky isn't the limit. The sky is the floor. And I was like, exactly. I want you all to begin to consider that the sky isn't the limit. The sky is the floor. There are all these studies that talk about how when you cage animals, elephants, I believe, or it might be monkeys. Don't quote me on this. Go Google it and look it up. But when you cage certain animals, after a period of time of them being in the cage, even if you open the door, they still stay in the cage and interact in the cage as if the door is closed. The reason for this is that being caged for all of this time has changed their mindset and their psychology, whereby they don't even consider that there is anything beyond the cage, or that they themselves are capable of going beyond the cage. And that, in so many ways, is what is happening to us. That's how a lot of us are living. We don't even see beyond the 3D reality or the matrix or the constructs of the way society was set up. We don't see that in so many ways, our society was built on people who didn't know themselves anymore, people whose self-worth and self-identity and self-concept was stripped from them, and people whose self-confidence and self-esteem is low. Our society has been built on the backs of these people, which is most of us, until we disrupted that programming. So you need to start to see for yourself that most of what you think and most of what you know was created. It is a program. It is conditioning, beauty standards, I could go on and on. A lot of people, particularly on a self-love journey, have a way they feel about the way they look or their body size and this and that this determines their worth and their value and who they can be with and what is available to them in life. And while that is true in a lot of ways because of those social constructs, you don't have to live inside of that box anymore. You don't have to live inside of that cage anymore. So these are the things that I'm starting to teach you here, is I'm letting you know that it's a cage. It's not real. And you got to break out of these cages. I'm going to give you a little bit of homework to do. And I want you to comment below what you learned as a result of doing this homework. I want you to think about all the programs, all the conditioning, all the teachings that made you think something about yourself or think something about the world or think something about other people. Particularly those things that made you maybe think that you weren't good enough or you weren't smart enough or you weren't lovable or you weren't this or you weren't that or you needed to be more this or you needed to be more that. I want you to see that all of that is programming, it's not the truth. Tell me, now that you have done that work, what you now see you can do, what you can go after, what you are worth, that sort of thing. It may take you a little bit of time to do it. So as I say, watch the video over and over again, let these things percolate, and then continue to do that homework. And you can continue to update the comments as well, wherever you're watching this. But you've got to think bigger now. You've got to start to say to yourself, hold on a second. Why do these people deserve love and I don't? Why do these people deserve to be happy and I don't? Why are these people lovable and I'm not? Why? Where did I learn this? Like, who says it's true? Why is it true? Ask yourself these questions. A lot of these things come from the things that we've watched on television and our families, like our family dynamics, lessons we were taught, how to be a good girl, how to be a good wife, how to be a good man, how to be a good husband, how to be, important in life, what things people like, what things people don't like. But it's like, well, what do you like? Who are you really? What do you want? What would make you happy? Why aren't you worthy? Yes, you are worthy. Why don't you find the people that align with you? Why don't you find the people that are true to you? Why do you have to continue to people please in order to be honored and respected? What is that about? Where did I learn that? Ask and deconstruct all of these things. These are some of the things that I do with my clients during our one-to-one sessions, is we totally disrupt the automatic programming. We totally dig deep into all this subconscious stuff, all of the 3D matrix-like programming, and we move it out of the way. And we install, we insert, we create the truth that serves you, and life begins to explode. Now, the next important thing is you gotta move. You gotta take some actions. It's so great watching a lesson like this. It's so great being on a coaching call with me. Yes, you will definitely love being on a coaching call with me. My clients know what's up. And the work isn't done just by watching things, right? You actually need to put yourself in the driver's seat and act now. So knowledge is powerful. Action is the next level. So now that you know these things, what are you gonna do about it? What are the conversations that you're gonna have? What are the things that you're gonna look around you and say for yourself, it's time for that to go? When and how are you going to let that go? What are the first actions that you're going to take around that? What are the things that are like bubbling to the surface? You can say, hey, I need to start this. Hey, I want to change that. Hey, I need to do this. Hey, I want to actually like go after this. These things that are bubbling to the surface, these things that are now coming to your heart, these things that are entering now your new higher awareness and realm of consciousness. Now that you see them, you gotta say, yes, I want them. Act on these things. I'm telling you, when you really do this self-love work, different people are going to start to show up in your life, and there's going to be opportunities to connect. There are going to be things that you can see that you never used to see before. There's going to be an energy, a personality, a way of being about you that is going to be different than when your self-esteem was lower, your confidence was lower, you were always expecting the worst, you were being negative, you were being grumpy, you were being entitled, you were being very like standoffish. These things affect, okay, what you bring into your life, what you bring more of into your life. And so the more grounded you are, the more your energy is focused on love and gratitude and what you want versus focusing on what you don't want, the more you expect that things are going to work out and that things are going to work out for you, the more likely you are to be someone that allows for that to happen. I know that sometimes when I say this, people interpret this as like not being grounded in reality, but it really is not that. What it is it is being very much grounded in the reality, but then attuning yourself for the best possible outcome. Those are two very different things. Grounding yourself for the best possible outcome. That's what we're talking about. And that is powerful. It takes more intelligence and more courage and more power and resiliency to be able to see what is so and pull for the best possible outcome than it is to just be a bump on a log, expecting the worst, not having your heart open, and just slowly kind of being this person that goes through the motions and lets your... We're back. It just stopped for a second. So you got to be more than that person that just sits there like a bump on a log. It's never going to get better. Things are never going to change. It's never going to this and that. Generate yourself. And if you cannot do that on your own, then that brings me to the next point. Hire a coach. Hire a coach. Now understand very carefully, it is not your coach's job to start your motor. It is not your coach's job to make you do something you don't want to do. You have to show up, you have to do the work, you have to be committed. But if you need the support and you need the help, you need that person to kind of like pop you back in and align you. You need the extra set of eyes to ensure that you are moving in the direction of your highest good. That's where a coach comes in. Someone like myself, there are many other powerful, amazing coaches, so you find the person that resonates for you. I am so abundant. I support all people and teachers that are in the space lifting people up. I know that if you and I are meant to work together, we'll work together, okay? I have no scarcity. So I am like literally telling you, whether it's me or it's another coach or it's someone else, create a relationship with someone that is going to have you be who you know you truly are meant to be and is going to have you be unstoppable. Like, let's go. No justifications, no reasons and excuses, no more settling for less, no more holding yourself back, no more acting in ways that are not aligned, no more making mistakes because you aren't grounded and you aren't clear. Like, let's do this. Let's make this happen. And you know what? We're not even attached to the outcome. It's like, this is what living is all about. We're living, people. We're living. We are in the game. And so many people I find, like, we're just in this space of like rolling over and like slowly dying. Why? Do you know that there are so many people right now in the world, in other countries, in other places, even in our own country right now, or sitting in hospitals that would love to have the things that you have right now, that would love to have the opportunities that you have at your disposal right now, that would love to have maybe the family support that you have right now, that would love to have maybe some of the money that you have in your bank account that you could use to invest in a coach or whatever it is right now. So stop thinking about what you don't have, think about what you do have and optimize for that, maximize that. And again, that's where if you find you could use some additional support, do it, okay? Really just do it. The sun is coming in and it's perfect because this point that I'm going to talk about now is about your gut. It's about your solar plexus. It is about that feeling. So just as we talked about your heart and how important your heart is, your gut is important. And so I'm not going to get heavily into nutrition in this class, though I am a certified health coach. If you didn't know that, that's one of my certifications. What I want to focus on for this particular point is I really need you to understand that what you are putting into your body is affecting your neuropharmacology. It's affecting your body. It's affecting your thoughts. It's affecting how you feel. It is affecting your motivation, right? It's affecting all kinds of things. And so I'm not telling you how to eat. I'm not going to tell you what foods are quote unquote good or what foods are bad. What I'm saying right now is that if you are finding your energy is a little bit low, or you're finding your mood is a little bit off, if you are finding you are not as grounded, if you're finding you're not able to connect with your intuition as well as you normally do, or if intuition has always been a struggle for you, you want to take a look at your food and your nutrition, how you've been eating, how you've been nourishing your body, how the foods that you're eating on a regular basis are feeling for you. And there may be some things to tweak there. I also want to make sure, okay, that you're not being restrictive or being demonizing of yourself. There's a lot of theories and philosophies on what diets are best and how people should eat and don't do this and don't do that. Let me tell you something. In all of my years being a self-love coach, in all of my years and training in being a Reiki master teacher, which is somebody that deeply understands how energy works, in all of my years of being a certified health coach, which actually that's been a couple of years, so it hasn't been that long particularly focused on food. But when I bring all of these things together, and of course my work in self-love, there is no like one diet or one way of eating or one food, okay, that is the end all and be all or makes the singular difference. It's a combination of things. Health is about a combination of things. It's a holistic approach. So don't get all caught up in the food, only this food or only that food. Again, this point for you is about, I want you listening to your body and hearing what your body has to say about how you are feeding it. And if how you are feeding it overall is supporting you in being your highest self, in having fun, in feeling good, in elevating your mood and having a sustained elevated mood, energy, like all of that kind of stuff. We have to be listening to our gut as much as we are listening to our heart. This is a reminder that you are worthy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to have loving relationships. You deserve to feel fulfilled. You deserve to have a high quality of life. And that so many things are possible. When you let go of the old conditioning, when you see beyond the limits that were set for you, when you let go of your old programming, which is all a part of doing the inner self-love work, so many doors open up for you. The world becomes your oyster. You let go of all of the nitty-gritty, petty things that don't serve you. You don't stay in these deeply lower emotional states for long periods of time. You get to be free. And I am here to support you in liberating yourself. As I liberate myself, I liberate you. As we liberate ourselves, we liberate each other. And we can do this. Doesn't it feel good? Like right here, sitting here in this video, taking in what I just said, connected to your power. Do you not feel good? I feel amazing, okay? I feel amazing. So I'm just sending you that good energy. Take it, receive it. If you receive it, say, I receive in the comments below. My friends, it has been a pleasure, truly, to do this video for you. I was just so lit up this morning. I was like, it's been so long since I've done a self-love masterclass, and a nice long one. I got to get out here and I got to do this. I got to talk to my people. So it has been so great. If you are new here and you love this video and you haven't subscribed, I really encourage you to subscribe. We're going to be doing more videos like this, more and more, because I just really want to put out the good energy, the high frequency stuff here that's going to just have us move whatever is in our way. Don't forget to like and to share these videos. Share them with the people in your life, the people that matter to you most. Listen, when you bring people into the conversation, you and them are more likely to succeed. Energy is contagious. So share. And y'all, I cannot wait to see you in the next self-love masterclass. Until we see each other next time, don't you forget that we truly are in this together. Mwah.